Get ready, because you're now listening to Water Cooler Talk. Covering everything sports and sports news. From the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, the pros, the collegiate level, and everything in between. If it's about sports, then we're about it. So keep it locked to the absolute coolest podcast. Now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Oh, welcome to the coolest podcast, the Water Cooler Talk. I am your host, Nick Frazier, and the other person on the other end is
Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Man, thank y'all so much for joining in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. We thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for joining in with us every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we are here, man. Every Wednesday we are here. Marcus, how you doing today, man?
I am feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Anything new this week? Anything happen? Anything that you want to tell us?
Man, it's a lot to talk about.
Okay.
I think we're going to get to it today.
Oh, yeah, man. We got a great show tonight, people. We got a great show tonight. Once again, we thank y'all so much for tuning in, taking some time out your day, downloading the podcast, listening to us, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcasts, man. We are happy that you are downloading, listening to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Coolest Pod 23. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. And if you want to talk to us, email us at wctpod@gmail.com. Again, that is wctpod@gmail.com. Man, today is going to be a great show, man. This is going to be an interesting show. We got some good topics, man. We got some good topics tonight. So I think, you know what? I think we just need to go ahead and jump into it, man. The pregame this has been a quick pregame, man. I think the teams are ready. I think the teams are ready to show out tonight. I think we might come out with a blowout tonight. I don't know. What you think?
Hey, we need it.
We need it.
That's all I say. We need it.
We need it, man. So, hey, if you ready, we about to get ready.
I'm ready.
Hey, you know what time it is, everybody? You already know. Let's hit it up. It's the first quarter, baby. Let's go.
It's now time for the first quarter.
All right, man. So we are in the first quarter right now, man. Again, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. We are happy that you all are downloading and listening to us. Okay, man. So SEC Media Days are just wrapped up.
Man.
Very interesting.
Lane Kiffin a little stressed out.
What did you say? He looked like he looked stressed out.
Yeah, he looked stressed out. But
I don't know, man. I looked at it, man. I look at Jimbo, and Jimbo
was winging it.
You think so?
Yeah.
You know, Jimbo now has me kind of confused because if you don't know, last week I picked Texas A&M as my first team out, and listening to Jimbo talk, one of the reasons why I thought Texas Tech was, Texas A&M was going to be something was because they hired Bobby Petrino as the offense coordinator,
OC.
but this week at this week at SEC Media Days, he was asked the question probably 5, 6, 7 times of who's going to call plays, and he never gave a straight answer. it's like he did not. It's like Jimbo does not want to give up play calling ability.
Man, that's his baby.
Man, look, if Texas A&M wants to do something serious, let Bobby Petrino call the plays.
I agree 100% on that one.
I mean, this ain't Florida State no more, man. This is not Florida State. I'm sorry. I mean,
Man.
Go ahead, man. It doesn't make sense. He could have been like Hugh Freeze. They asked Hugh Freeze who was gonna call plays because Philip Montgomery is the new OC at Auburn, and they asked Hugh Freeze, "Yo, Hugh, who's gonna call the plays?" He was like, "Well, Philip is the offensive coordinator, but I reserve the right to step in and take over play calling if I want to." Jimbo could have said something like that. Jimbo was like, "Well, we don't want to get into the strategic strategies of how we're going to call." Jimbo, just say you don't want to give up play call. Just say that.
I'm gonna tell you what else was funny. Nick Saban kept saying, "Yeah, we're young, we're young." I'm like, "All right, y'all so young. I'm finna send my 3-year-old out there to try for the team. Y'all so young."
Nah, he made a good point though. But he did make a good point. Saban made a good point. He
Yeah,
said that if your team is always sending people to the NFL, you're always gonna have a young team.
yeah. You always gonna have. It's always gonna be the next man up.
Of course. So I mean, I understand that, but that also begs the question, like, how good is Nick Saban? Because if you are sending,
Mm,
that many guys to the league every year, and you are still winning with sophomores and juniors that are just starting to play, like,
yep.
how good is Nick Saban as a coach? Like, that's a question that might need to be described. Like, Nick Saban might be the greatest coach of all time.
I don't really think it's a might in it, man.
You think so?
I, college coach,
Okay, let's look
ha-
at it.
hands down.
Okay, let's look at it. What about NFL? All coaches of all time. Is Nick Saban the greatest coach of all time?
Ah, it's hard not to give it to him.
I mean, he's top in my thing. I think he might be top five.
If he ain't number one, he number two.
Okay, so who would go above Nick Saban? I mean, because if you want to go all time, we got to go Vince Lombardi.
I
Uh,
forgot about Vince. I ain't think about Vince.
you got uh,
I got Bill though.
yeah, Bill
Bill.
Parcells.
No, I got Belichick.
Oh, Bill Belichick. Okay,
In,
Bill
in New
Belichick.
England.
What about Jimmy Johnson? Winning those Super Bowls with the Cowboys.
I think they cut his reign too short to
Ah,
see what he was gonna really be.
interesting. Okay, I see that. I see that. Yeah, man. But that's getting back to SEC, because we done went down a whole nother road of who the
Yeah, we
greatest.
did.
We
We
done went down
did.
a
We
whole nother
did.
road. We'll talk about that later. But I'm just saying, SEC Media Days was something. And a lot of people came out with the consensus that Georgia was going to win the SEC this year.
Hey,
Um,
Kirby chilling too. You see Kirby
Yeah,
chilling.
yeah. Kirby was chilling, man. Kirby was like, "Look, man." It was somebody asked him a question. They was like, and it dealt with the schedule, and it was like, yeah, how could you? I'm phrasing the question is not the exact words, but it was like, you should win because your schedule is so easy. He was like, well, come play it then. He was like, well, I tell them to come play the schedule then. It's
man,
hard to win in the SEC.
he went over his time. He was chilling so much. He was like, and I'm over my time.
Animal, exactly, man. Kirby sitting up there looking like, look, man, we coming in, we trying to three-peat, bro. We trying to make
Man, we the
history.
big dog.
Hey, but that asks the question though: if Kirby and Georgia three-peats, is Kirby the greatest coach in this time right now?
Nah, man, it's gonna be a lot to a certain Nick.
I mean, come on, that's three in a row. That's literally
That's
three in a
three.
row.
That's three in a row against a dynasty, though,
But
man. Come
but
on, like
but
Nick been in the game winning since like '09.
but Nick ain't did three in a row though.
Yeah, but I feel you. But I mean, come on, man. Like
I, you,
that's
you-
three. That's three in a row versus what 7? No, he got 7.
yeah, seven.
Quote me if I'm wrong.
I think he got seven in Alabama right now. They got seven in Alabama. Now I think didn't he win back to back one year? He came close
Yeah,
to
he
winning
won.
three in a row, but
Yeah,
he back to back. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, but you can also look at it this way. Last year, Georgia was down 14 in that semifinal game against Ohio State. They almost lost that game.
man. Phew.
I mean, we could be sitting here having a different conversation, like
Talking about C.J. Stroud and Marvin Harrison Jr.
exactly. We could be sitting here saying Kirby Smart is 1-3. Excuse me, 1-2 in national championship games and not 2-1.
Facts.
That could be. I mean, we are a missed field goal away from that. But I think Georgia is the runaway favorite to win the SEC this year. They just too talented, man. They just got a lot of talent on that team, man.
Man, all they gotta do is replace the quarterback.
Yeah, apparently, Carson Beck. Carson Beck is the guy. I mean,
Man, he up
everybody
for
is saying
hey,
it.
he like in the race for the Heisman already, bro.
I don't see it. I
Nah, I'm
don't
just
see it.
saying he like a low 7th, 8th.
Ah,
He got Heisman odds, and I was shocked.
I don't see it now. I'm gonna
He
be
ain't in
real.
mine, but
I don't see
you know,
it. I mean, that's That's a whole different conversation. We'll talk about that in the next quarter.
Ohio
Anyway.
State quarterback is too.
Who, McCord?
Yeah.
Who? Okay, all right, we'll talk about that later. But I mean, another theme that came out of SEC media days, you heard the word free agency a lot, and
Man.
with the transfer portal, and, the NIL name, image, and likeness, it kind of feels like college football is not an amateur sport anymore. And granted, I am all for players getting paid, and they should get paid what they're worth. Revenues, should they split revenues with the universities? Should they be on salary? Should there be a CBA in college football? I mean, it's a lot of stuff. And Nick was asked this. Nick was there Wednesday, and he was asked about how does he keep up with keeping his roster together. And he had a response, and we're gonna play this clip, and we're gonna talk about it after this clip. So here's the clip of Nick responding to the question about roster turnover and things of that nature.
We've continued to try to build our team through recruiting quality high school talent, and we use the portal sort of as you would use free agency in the NFL. When we feel like we have a need at a position, we would look and see if anybody's available in the portal that would, help us at that particular position. And I think this year we brought 5 guys in from the portal to complement. I think we had like 28 freshmen maybe to go with that. But I do agree with you that having experienced players, if they're the right kind of guys and they're the right kind of people and they understand the culture of what you're trying to accomplish, can be very beneficial to your team. But I think those players need to play if they're in the transfer portal, and we should therefore need them to play. There should be some need at their position so they have an opportunity to be able to contribute, and I think that's the case in most positions where we took guys this year out of the portal. Jahmyr Gibbs was a great example of a guy out of the portal who made a significant contribution to our team a year ago. But the team has to be willing to embrace those players, which our team has always done a really good job of, and they've done the same this year.
Now, if you watch that live, and he used the word free agency, and when he did it, he used air quotes and with free agency. I mean, that was an interesting word to use. Like, what do you think about that?
I feel like he used it because the way he using free agency is because if you notice when he was doing his interview, they brought up the quarterback situation at Bama.
Mm-hmm.
And the quarterback situation at Bama is looking real uncertain right now. And he
Mm-hmm.
used the transfer portal, to go get a transfer from Notre Dame
Mm-hmm.
at quarterback. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's a 3-man race in Alabama because in the interview, he says no one is pulling away right now. So he's kind of looking kind of nervous. So that's why he called it the free agency, because Nick Saban doesn't believe in transfer portal players, but since it's so open, why not use it?
I mean, I would say the coach that really does not believe in the transfer portal. He has come out and said he does not want transfer portal guys in his program is Dabble Sweeney at Clemson. Like, Dabble does not like the transfer
He's
portal
tried and
at all.
true about it
I mean,
too.
he does not. He doesn't. He want, if you come into Clemson, you come into Clemson because you like Clemson. That's how Dabble feel about that. I mean, I don't know, man. It is a weird time in college football. I mean, the name, image, and likeness. I mean, it's not.
Make it tough.
Yeah, it does. It's
They make
not.
it tough to keep a team together.
It really does. And you know what? Speaking of that, the next day, Lane Kiffin came in Thursday, and in his opening statement, he just went ahead and addressed it. And listen to this. Listen to this clip of Lane Kiffin talking about free agency as well with name, image, and likeness. Listen to Kiffin.
So I'm going to address the portal NIL. what I kind of call disaster that we're in. And so I know that question's going to come. And the reason why I break that down usually is because I do afterwards get a lot of feedback from you guys in the media or fans that they're appreciative, of a coach that really addresses where it's at and what are the challenges with it. So first off, I've always said I think it's phenomenal that players get a chance to get paid, which is great. I do think, which I've stood up here and said before when it first happened, that there's going to be some major issues, and we're creating free agency with the portal. And with NIL, you've got a lot of pay for play going on, and that is what it is. So, those two things combining, there just is not a system in place. And I don't think that there's any other sports at any level that are like this, that really you every year can opt into free agency, really twice a year. And I was just thinking on a plane ride over here, what if you had that in other sports? Tom Brady, Asia Wilson, Lionel Messi, LeBron James. What if every year those guys can opt into free agency twice a year, really, and they got no long-term contracts? Basically, everybody's not even on a 1-month contract because they can leave in 2 windows. So it's just created a lot of issues, and these roster changes, and I'm not complaining about it because we take advantage, obviously, of free agency. But at the same time, I don't think that's really good for college football. These massive overhauls of rosters every year really is not in the best interest of college football.
Like he even said we take advantage of free agency, not the portal, of free agency. Like,
Got to, man. That's what the game going. So you got to play along with the game to keep up.
A lot of people saying he sounds hypocritical. But he did say at the end, I'm not complaining because I take advantage of it. He in the beginning he did say it was a disaster. Because honestly, name, image, and likeness is not what it was set up to be. If you think about it. Because now
it's no structure behind it.
There is. And then now with the different states having the different laws behind it, it's no uniformity. There's no like one monolithic type thing saying
but
this
is what clarify. You can do. I'm with it. I'm with it though. I want y'all to get paid.
Of course. But, yeah.
But
of course.
It's just no structure behind it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why will there be a CBA in college football? Will there be a players union in college football? Is college football really still an amateur sport? That's the question. I think the problem that a lot of people have with it is the fact that it's not the fact that they're paying players. I think it has to do with interference with players who are still at schools because people want that person to come to their school. You know what I'm saying? So
it's tampering.
Yeah, basically. It's basically what it is. So you're at school A, you're playing, but now because this collective at school B can pay you $1 million to come play for their school, they can come talk to you and say, get in the portal. You'll get this $1 million for the next year, 2 years to come play at that school. I think that's the problem.
But usually what I don't understand is with the coaches, if a player transfers, it's usually because you demoted his role on the team.
True. That too. If a player's unhappy or a player is not getting the playing time they want, they're not getting promised what they want. So it's a lot of different factors that go into this, man. And it's gonna take some time, and I think it's gonna get, for lack of better words, it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Indeed.
And so hopefully it'll get taken care of. And this is a conversation that can go on for, another segment. But we have to segue to the next quarter, because we are in the middle of the quarter now. The first quarter ended. So both teams are on the sidelines right now. The band is playing just a little bit, getting everybody hype until the second quarter start. How you feel, Marcus? What are you thinking?
Hey, I'm ready, man. I'm turned up. Let's get it.
Let's go, man. Hey, man, you know what? Thank y'all again. It's time to go to the second quarter. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Now entering the second quarter.
Oh man, so we are now in the second quarter. Again, thank y'all so much for listening. I mean, what are we talking about in the second quarter, Marcus?
I think the second quarter is about your two early Heisman picks, right, Nick?
Way too early Heisman contender candidates. Whatever you want to say, contenders or candidates. Who do we have as our way too early Heisman candidates right now? Football season is a little bit less than a month away, right about a month away, college
Can't
football.
wait.
And we are
They're
excited.
already advertising the HBCU Classic.
Yes, sir. Yes, they are. And we're looking at it. It's the beginning of the year, and we're looking at who could be in New York in December and who could be hoisting that Heisman Trophy above their head as the greatest college football player this past year of that year. So, Marcus, I know you said you
Yes,
had
sir.
5
Let's
people.
get it.
I had 5 people. Who you have as your way too early Heisman Trophy candidates?
Coming in at number 1, I have Caleb Williams to repeat. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Number 2, I have Bo Nix out of
Ooh.
Oregon.
Ooh.
Young man played good, got hurt week 10.
Mm-hmm.
Still accounted for 510 rushing yards and over 3,000 yards passing
Mm-hmm.
with a 71.9 completion rate.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, if you look at this kid's numbers, Jaden Daniels, it's not gonna pop off at you. But if you watch film, the kid is promising, man. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Little guy out of LSU at number 3. And 4, of course, I gotta have Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Okay.
projected number 1 draft pick, Ohio State.
What? Number 1?
You
Okay.
know, 77 receptions last year, over 1,000 yards receiving,
Okay.
14 touchdowns, average 16.7 yards per catch.
Mm-hmm.
In 5, I have that boy out of Arkansas, Montgomery, Alabama's own KJ Jefferson.
KJ Jefferson? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Dude had a good year before, he got hurt last year, and then it went downhill for him.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. We actually have the same list except for one person. I mean, we can go through it. I got number 1. I got Caleb Williams repeating as the favorite to repeat. I mean, Caleb
Yeah,
Williams is the
obviously.
best. He's the best quarterback in college football right now. Like you said, 66% completion rating. He had a QBR, college QBR of 87.6, 4,500 yards passing last year, and he only had 5 interceptions.
Exactly.
42 touchdowns last year. 42 touchdowns, and he won the Heisman. He has a chance to set USC up to make a run, but I still think Oregon's going to win, and that's why I have number 2 as my dark horse Heisman candidate, Bo Nix. Bo Nix is thriving at Oregon.
Man.
He's thriving. One read.
Why did we let him go?
Because we were not running the RPO one read option, one read offense. Bo, it's literally
So simple.
It's very
So simple. One read.
One read. You look downfield. If it ain't there, you gone. If you have time, you look at the second option. If not, you gone.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Bo Nix is number 2 on my list. Number 3 on my list, I'm gonna have to go Jaden Daniels. I said Jaden Daniels 2 is number 3. Jaden Daniels, LSU, what he did last year at LSU, winning the West and getting to the SEC championship game, that was amazing. That was out of left field. But the problem with LSU is I don't think LSU have enough depth this year. They may not have enough depth.
That's just Ogeron, though.
They may not have enough depth to actually, make a run at it. Now, a couple more recruiting cycles and, portal additions and things and stuff like that, I feel that they have, I think they'll have a chance to make.
Brian Kelly also was talking about how he had to replace the whole secondary.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but
He was like, he didn't want to do it through the transfer portal. It looked bad.
I mean, is it though? Is it bad going through the transfer portal? I mean, with the last thing we just talked about, free agency, why not? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
If you
why
need
not?
it, go get it.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get you. I need a safety. I need a corner.
Exactly.
Come holler at me.
Exactly.
Come
Saban
over
said
here.
Saban said it best. If we need some help at a position, we're gonna go into the portal and see what that guy can do for us at that position to help us win. That's what
Exactly.
Saban said it. And he's arguably the greatest coach of all time. So why not do it? So yeah, I mean, I got Jane Daniels number 3. Number 4, I got my boy, the greatest, best receiver in the land in college football today, Marvin Harrison Jr. He's gonna be number 4, man. Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison, and I pulled the stats.
Kid is spectacular, bro.
He is. I pulled these stats from last year. In the Michigan game, he had 7 receptions for 120 yards.
I watched that game.
He was balling.
Out of control.
Ball.
Every time he touched it, to the crib.
Touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And in the Georgia game, where Ohio State almost beat Georgia in the semifinals, and they would have been playing for national championship against TCU if Georgia would not have come back, or if Ohio State would not have missed that field goal at the last minute. He had 5 receptions for 106 yards against that Georgia defense.
And he got hurt.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And he got hurt.
I'm telling you, man, Marvin Harrison.
I think he got hurt. If my recollection
he did. He was injured.
Correct. He got hurt in the first half, though.
He was injured. Yeah, he was injured. I don't even think he played the full game, if I'm not mistaken. Like Marvin Harrison could have had more catches. He could have had a 200-yard night. Come on, man. Come on. Against that Georgia defense.
Against Kirby Smart.
Come on, man. Come on. And then you had KJ Jefferson on your list. Now, this guy right here that I'm about to pick, I'm upset. And the reason why I'm upset about this particular pick is because the previous regime that was at Auburn, as you all know, we are Auburn fans. The previous regime that was at Auburn had a chance to have this man on the team. And for some reason, it didn't happen. He was in the backyard from Pike Road High School in Montgomery. Well, Pike Road, if you want, depends on who you talk to. Quinshawn Judkins, running back for Ole Miss. Number 5.
Dude, a stud.
Bruh. Quinshawn Judkins, he should be wearing an Auburn uniform right now. Not an Ole Miss uniform. He should be wearing an Auburn uniform. Listen to this. Listen to these numbers.
Respect. And he a freshman. He was a freshman.
He was a freshman. Listen to these numbers. 1,567 rushing yards. 16 touchdowns. He averaged almost 6 yards per carry. He had 15 receptions for 132 yards, averaging almost 9 yards per catch. As a freshman. This guy literally could have a 2,000-yard season this year. Like, Quinshawn Judkins is that guy. He's probably...
Hey, Lane Kiffin is hoping that's what happened.
Look, he's not that far off. He could have 2,000 yards this season. And if he has 2,000, if he has anywhere close to these numbers, I'm gonna put it like this: if he does 1,500 yards rushing again this year, and if he almost hits his 2,000 yards, he's gonna win the Heisman Trophy.
And they better get their money ready.
He's gonna win the Heisman Trophy. He's gonna win it. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, bruh, Quinshawn Judkins is literally the best running back in college football right now. And I'm so upset at the fact that he literally is not wearing an Auburn uniform.
Yeah, we blew that one, Nick. Blew that one.
He's not wearing an Auburn uniform. Like, he could have been the heir apparent to Tank Bixby. That's what he could have been. He could have been the heir apparent to Tank Bixby. Him and Jarquez Hunter could have been running things this year.
Most definitely.
So I sit here and I'm like, man, this hurts my heart because he literally could be hoisting the Heisman Trophy this year in New York. And Quinshon Judkins, I know I said Bo Nix is the dark horse for the Heisman, but I might have to rearrange this, and I might have to put Quinshon Judkins number 2. I might have to put Quinshon Judkins number 2.
Well, that's tough. That's tough. You gonna just switch up mid episode though?
I might have
Like
to.
mid episode though.
The more I think about this, the more I think about it, I might have to put Quinshon Judkins number 2. Literally, might have to put him number 2.
I respect that. I respect that.
I mean, because dude is that deal. He's that deal. And the thing about it is, he's gonna be the focal point of that Ole Miss offense this year. Literally gonna be the focal point of that offense this year. So I'm excited. I am ready. This is going to be a very interesting year in college football, and we can't wait to see what happens and who will be in New York this year.
Yes, the suspense is killing me already. Let's get ready for college
Heisman
football.
Trophy at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. This is going to be a good year. And you know what that also means? That means that's the end of the second quarter when you hear those horns. And you know what?
Yes, sir.
We are in halftime right now, and both teams are going to the locker room. We are going to halftime.
You don't out your seats. It's halftime.
Man, we are in halftime right now, man. We thank y'all so much, man. Thank y'all again for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. We are here every Wednesday, man. Tune in to us. Listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Download wherever you get your podcast. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there, man. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, people. We trying to get our followers up. Come on, guys. We want to be there. Also, man, go to our YouTube page, man. Content is coming. We have put some content up already on our YouTube page. We got some shorts up there. So go watch them, like them. Hey, man, follow us. Subscribe to us on YouTube at The Coolest Pod 23, or just type in Water Cooler Talk Podcast and you will find us. That'll be us up there, man. So we thank y'all so much, man. And if you want to talk to us and you want to see what we're doing, what you want to see, what you like about the show, what you want to see on the show, email us at wctpod@gmail.com. Again, that is wctpod@gmail.com. At this point, we want to thank our sponsors. We have none. Hopefully that will change soon.
Not yet.
Hopefully that will change soon. Hopefully we'll have some sponsors soon, man. But if you want to, man, email us again at wctpod@gmail.com, man. We are excited about this, man. So yeah, man, we thank y'all again. And we thank y'all for rocking with us here at the Water Cooler, coming to sit around the Water Cooler with us every Wednesday, man. So the teams in the locker room right now, they're getting ready for the second half. They're rejuvenating, trying to bandage back up some of the injuries that they may have had. The second half is probably going to get a little rough. It's going to get a little tough. It's going to get some serious in the second half. Marcus, what do you think? Do you think these teams are ready for the second half, Marcus? Do you think they're ready?
Man, I got my adjustments. I done put my people in place, and I think if they ain't ready, they better get ready.
Man, you know what?
This is gonna be a test of heart.
You know what? I might hit the transfer portal, and by the second half, you might not see me. I'm just playing.
Yeah, I got like 5 free agents already because we were too young.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We gonna see what happened, man. But we excited, man. The teams are in there. They getting juiced up. They getting ready. Well, let's not say juice. That's a word for something else.
The steroid talk.
Yeah, we not doing that. But the teams are in there. They getting ready. They in there. I can hear them in there. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? You hear them? Do you hear them? I think I see them coming out the door right now, man. So I think it's time, man. I think it's time.
Let's get it.
I think it's time.
Second half, baby.
Second half, we coming. We coming, second half, we coming. Hey, man, shout out to our
Let's
high school, man.
go.
Shout out to our high school, Booker T. Washington High School in Tuskegee, Alabama, man.
Oh,
Why
most
not
definitely.
BTW, man? Hey, man, so we excited for them, man. They're going to have a great football season this year, man. So we excited for them. Shout out to Coach.
Yeah, let's get back to the playoffs.
Of course, man. Of course, man. Of course, man. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So yeah, man. Shout out to Booker T. Washington High School, man. We enjoy y'all. We're gonna make some games this year. So it's time for the second half, man. Are you ready?
Let's get it.
Hey, man, here we go. We are about to hit up the third quarter.
We've now entered the third quarter.
Oh boy, we are back.
We here, second half.
Second half is here. Halftime was pretty good. I think the teams are ready to go. Kickoff is about to start right now in the second half. So in this third quarter, we are going to discuss a topic between two quarterbacks. And we want to debate which one of these quarterbacks has more to prove. And the two quarterbacks that we're going to debate here, and this is gonna get rocky. This and trust me, you want to stay tuned for the rest of this show. Which of these quarterbacks has more to prove? Is it Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills? Or is it that man in Cincinnati, Joe Burrow? The floor is yours, Marcus.
I'm going with Josh Allen on this one.
Okay.
Reasons why: you cannot be picked to win the Super Bowl 2, probably 3 years in a row and have an early exit. You hung up 10 points on the other person we're talking about, Joe Burrow, in the AFC divisional round this year, and you threw an interception in the game. So it's just like with a QBR 55.5, if I'm saying it correctly. But like, come on, man. Like, he got to bring some type of hardware in this year. Like, even if it's just the MVP, like, he has to bring something to Buffalo. People, he getting commercials, he getting endorsements. You know, he got to prove himself, man. We can't just keep calling him the best for a reason, and he ain't coming through. You know,
Josh Allen
he's
the
the
best?
best.
Wow.
Man, you know, I'm a Buffalo fan, so
yeah, I
he's
was
the
about
best.
to say, is that the Buffalo Bills fan talking, saying Josh Allen
Yeah,
is the best?
I'm gonna stand on that.
I'm about to say, you might want to.
Nah, Patrick
No.
Mahomes number one. Right?
No, I was about to say, where we at now?
Well, we getting that on next segment.
Now
so
we'll
we ain't
see.
gonna talk-
We'll see. We'll see. But no, man, I see where you're coming from with that, man. Looking at Josh Allen's career stats, 62.5% completion rating, over 18,000 yards of career passing, yards per attempt. You're looking at right around 7 yards per attempt, 138 touchdowns, 60 interceptions for his career. On the rushing tip, he has over 3,000 yards rushing, 38 touchdowns, and averaging roughly about 6 yards per carry that he has.
He threw 38 touchdowns last year.
I see where you coming from with that with Josh Allen. And yes, he does have something to prove, but I see this differently. Which quarterback has more to prove? And I'm going with Joe Burrow. I'm picking Joe Burrow in this situation because I'm going to use the analogy that Stephen A uses on First Take. He uses the analogy of like there are stars, then there are superstars, and then there may be even a level above superstars. I put Joe Burrow in the realm of Patrick Mahomes. I put him in that realm. And the reason why I say Joe Burrow has more to prove, and it comes from this standpoint. Joe Burrow has beaten Josh Allen. Okay.
Most definitely.
He's done that. Joe Burrow has beaten Patrick Mahomes.
He has a winning record against Patrick
He
Mahomes.
does. The last 2 years, the AFC Championship game has been Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes. They're 1-1. Joe Burrow won one year. Patrick Mahomes won the other year. But the difference is Patrick Mahomes has 2 Super Bowls. So I look at it from this perspective here, that if I put Joe Burrow in that category of Patrick Mahomes-esque, you got to win a Super Bowl. He has more to prove.
All right. Let's look at it.
Look at it.
He made it to the Super Bowl,
Of course.
being the most sacked quarterback with a rookie receiver.
Okay.
And not only that, nobody projected them to go to the Super. He has been the reason why we elevate Joe Burrow to that level is because he's been Joe Burrow.
Of course.
But
see, the thing about it is nobody expected this from Joe Burrow coming out of college. I mean, don't get it twisted. Joe Burrow was great in college. That's why he won a Heisman Trophy. He was great. But how fast he has had success in the NFL.
It's shocking.
If it was not for him getting hurt his rookie year, Cincinnati would have went to the playoffs then. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, the past 2 years, he has been to the AFC Championship game. I mean, so I put him on a different level than Josh Allen. And that's the reason why I say Joe Burrow has more to prove, because now I put you in the category of Patrick Mahomes, and I put Patrick Mahomes up there. And you've been to the Super Bowl, you've beaten Patrick Mahomes, but now you got to win it. You don't want to be Jim Kelly, and no disrespect to Jim Kelly, but you don't want to be Jim Kelly when you go to 4 straight.
Low blow.
That's not a low blow. I'm stating the obvious. You don't want to go to 4 straight Super Bowls and lose 4 straight Super Bowls. I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say Joe Burrow has more to prove, because now if Joe Burrow does not win a Super Bowl, like, he's great, but what is he?
But when has Cincinnati started off the season projected to win a Super Bowl? Like what he's doing with Cincinnati, he started off last year losing and rallied the troops and took them to the AFC Championship.
That's I agree with you. I understand. I understand where you are coming from, but I preference my statement before saying that I put Joe Burrow in the same category as Patrick Mahomes. I don't put Josh Allen in that category. I don't see it. Josh Allen is a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
That means he has so much more to prove this year. Thank you for saying that, Josh. You heard it. I hope.
Listen, man. Listen. I want everybody to be successful, but I'm telling you right now, I don't see their best chance. Their best chance at making it to the Super Bowl was the year when they went to Kansas City, and it literally was a coin flip where they lost the game because Kansas City got the ball first because of an overtime rule. That was their best chance. Ever since then, he has not made it out of the divisional round. His playoff record is 4-4, and he has made it out of the divisional round. Joe Burrow.
He lost to Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow is 5-2. You know what I'm saying? In the playoffs,
he lost to Joe Burrow.
I mean, so that's why I think, in my humble opinion, in my humblest of opinion, Joe Burrow has more to prove to me in that situation because of where I see Joe Burrow and how I view Joe Burrow as a quarterback in the NFL.
I understand how you view it, but the NFL views Josh Allen as a Super Bowl contender. So if Josh Allen keeps falling short, then the narrative about him is going to change.
If Joe Burrow keeps falling short, let's use this. Let's use this analogy here. Say Cincinnati and Kansas City meets up in the AFC Championship again this year. Joe Burrow loses. What are you going to be saying about Joe Burrow then? There will be nothing said about Josh Allen because I'm pretty sure Josh Allen would not have gotten past the divisional round again because he probably would have lost to Joe Burrow.
Man, Josh, I hope he hit his talk.
But I'm just saying though, I'm being completely honest though. The conversation would be literally Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. The media is already forming it that way. They're trying to make a rivalry out of it right now.
I think it is a rivalry.
Could
It's
be.
just, the mayor called it Barrelhead Stadium. Like, how much of a rivalry do you want if the mayor called it
I'm
that
just
right
saying. Okay, like I said, he gets that. He gets to the AFC Championship game and AFC Championship game and he loses to Patrick Mahomes again, or he gets to the AFC Championship game, beats Patrick Mahomes, gets to the Super Bowl and loses the Super Bowl. I mean, who would have more to prove then? Josh Allen would not. I mean, people will still be saying Josh Allen is he's a good quarterback. He's a Super Bowl contender, but he hasn't made it to the Super Bowl yet. He hasn't gotten past the divisional round. He hasn't even sniffed the AFC Championship game.
Stay tuned, Nick.
Okay, hey, prove me wrong, please. Please prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. That's why I think
Talking real greasy tonight about my boy. Stay tuned.
Listen, that's why I say Joe Burrow has more to prove. I mean, you do so much. You get to a specific level, and when you get to a specific level, there are expectations. You got to win. You can't keep getting there and then lose.
Expectations just now changed for him.
No, it hasn't. I believe. I honestly
did
believe.
You go in last year thinking that Cincinnati was going to be a threat?
Yes, I did.
Honestly,
yes, I did. Yes, I did. From the previous year, because they had just played in the Super Bowl. They had just lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl.
They were going to really just shoot right back to the AFC Championship.
Yes. I mean, because, okay, let's look at it. If you look at the landscape of the AFC, what teams are a threat to Kansas City and Cincinnati in the AFC? Okay, you can say the Buffalo Bills. Okay, you can say that.
Are we going this year or are we going last year?
No, yeah, I mean, no, just the landscape of the AFC.
Miami can be a threat with the acquisition of Jalen Ramsey.
That's another conversation.
They got two Dominic corners.
That's a you know what? That's a different conversation because honestly,
ask the question.
I'm about to answer the question. If you go back and look at the Super Bowl between the Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals, on the last play where Aaron Donald sacked Joe Burrow when he was running out of the pocket, Jamar Chase had Jalen Ramsey beat. If there was no pressure, if there was no Aaron Donald, who's obviously the greatest defensive lineman in the league right now, if there was no pressure on Joe Burrow and he set his feet,
of all time,
arguably of all time, you correct. If there was no, if and it's a big if because we live in if is a big word. If there was no pressure on him, if there was no pressure on Joe Burrow from Aaron Donald, who was giving him pressure at that time, and he set his feet and delivered that ball, Cincinnati would have a Super Bowl right now.
And then Joe Burrow would have what? Not too much to prove, huh?
Exactly. This would be a whole different conversation. I would be on your side. Yes, Josh Allen. He would have more to prove. But you literally have to sit here and look at like just because where I put him at and the way I see Joe Burrow, I put him in that category and I say Joe Burrow has more to prove. That's me though. And things of that nature.
I understand.
I mean, but people may disagree. And if you do, hit us up and let us know. But yes, I'm telling you, man, my personal opinion, Joe Burrow has more to prove. Marcus feels Josh Allen does. And I'm pretty sure majority of the world feels that. But I might be the few that say Joe Burrow has more to prove. Hopefully.
You're the minority, Nick.
I'm in the minority.
I'm the standalone, Nick.
I'm the standalone in that situation right there. I'm standalone in that situation, man. Joe, I need you to win the Super Bowl this year, baby.
And Josh, I hope you heard everything my young brother said
Joe
about
Burrow.
You. Let's go get one.
Joe Burrow, we need you to win the Super Bowl this year. And you know what? I'm not even a Cincinnati Bengals fan. I just think Joe Burrow is just that dude, man. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you, man.
Hey, I mess with Joe. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't even have a team. I don't even have an NFL team, bro. That's just how bad it is. Like if I were to root for a team.
Y'all gotta go subscribe so Nick can pick an NFL team.
Listen, I will tell you this. I grew up, if I had to pick a team, I pick a team, it would be the Carolina Panthers. It will either be the Panthers or the Falcons, even though they're in the same division. It's one of them two teams that I will pick.
Okay.
But I mean, we didn't grow up with an NFL team in the state of Alabama, so it was
not at all.
It's either
the Saints, the Falcons, or the Panthers.
Yeah, or our NFL teams were college teams, so either it was Auburn or Alabama.
and we know we ain't going for Alabama.
It's one of them teams.
Sorry, this ain't that
those-
type of podcast. I apologize.
Those the major schools. But we got Troy and South. I go South all day. South Alabama Jaguars, baby. That's me all day. If I
mess
between
with
them
South.
two,
I mess with South.
that's it. But yeah, man.
But you know what I went? I mean, where I went. I said what I went. Where I went.
Let
I
them
went
know.
to Ski.
Let them know, man. Let them know. You went to Ski.
I went to Ski.
You went to
Let's
Ski.
go with
You
it.
went to Ski. All right, Ski. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all balling and parlaying up there. I see you. Oh man, so that was a great discussion, man. So how you feel?
Man, the cameras can't see me yet, but I was already throwing up the fold.
He throwing up the foes because you know what? We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. Fourth quarter, we ready. We
I think
ready.
it's the livest one right here.
We ready.
Let's get it.
For y'all.
South 4
We have now arrived at the fourth quarter.
Boy, we in the fourth quarter right now, now.
Let's get it.
Hey man, this is about to get juicy. This topic right here is about to get juicy, and you wanna know why? Because it's because of me. It's because of me.
It's Nick.
This is all me right here, man. I have a very strong opinion about this, and I already did some research about this topic. And the topic is SI.com came out at the beginning of June. Beginning of June of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And so we're going to go down this list and we're going to talk about this. Okay. So the list, let me pull it up real quick. And things of that nature. This is the list that SI.com came out with for the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. At number 1, Patrick Mahomes. At number 2, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was at number 2. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 4, Jalen. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. Number 5, Justin Herbert. Number 6, Trevor Lawrence. Number 7, Lamar Jackson. Number 8, Aaron Rodgers. Number 9, Matthew Stafford. And at number 10, Dak Prescott. Before I go, Marcus came up with his own list. So, Marcus, tell them who you have on your list, sir. And I would, and you know what? I didn't even, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I didn't even make a list because I was so offended by the list. Because, Marcus, go ahead. I'll tell him in a minute. Go ahead.
Well, my list is really not that much different. I got Patrick Mahomes at 1, Joe Burrow at 2, Josh Allen at 3, Jalen Hurts at 4, Justin Herbert at 5, Trevor at 6, Aaron Rodgers at 7, Lamar Jackson at 8. This is where it get crazy. I got Geno at 9, and I got Kirk Cousins at 10.
Man. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because this is about to get rocky. First
I'm
off,
trying to hurry up so you can go ahead.
First off, ladies and gentlemen, there is one glaring name that is missing from this list. Actually,
Stay tuned.
Buckle
up, everybody. Please.
Actually, there are two glaring names missing from this list, and I'm going to mention both of them. How do you not mention Bryce Young and CJ Stroud on this list?
Top 10 already.
Top 10 already. I believe that Bryce Young and CJ Stroud are top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
What brings you to that conclusion, Nick?
Okay.
Please tell me. Please just
Listen.
Just tell me why you think of a person who never played a down of NFL football.
You know what?
It's already top 10.
You know
Please
what?
tell me.
You know what? I will tell you. So, There is this one little number in the NFL called passer rating. It is on a scale of 0 to 158.3. That is what the scale of the passer rating formula is. In the NCAA, they measure passer efficiency. So those numbers are a little bit higher. They use the same categories, but they're weighted different. Okay. The categories they use are pass attempts, completions, passing yards, touchdown passes, and interceptions. All right. So passer rating is a way to rate quarterbacks by a number. All right. So I looked at this list and I thought, SI.com, who on this list can I take off and add those two names? And so I did a little math. Okay. I went and took the 2021 season numbers and the 2022 season numbers for both Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, and I put them into the NFL passer rating formula to get a number. And you know what I found, people? You know what I found? I'm going to give you the passer rating numbers of everybody on this top 10 list. For 2021, Patrick Mahomes, 98.4. Joe Burrow, 108.3. Josh Allen, 92.2. Jalen Hurts, 87.2. Justin Herbert, 97.7. Trevor Lawrence, 71.9. Lamar Jackson, 87. Aaron Rodgers, 111.9. Matthew Stafford, 102.9. Dak Prescott, 104.2. Now, I went in and I put Bryce Young and CJ Stroud's numbers into the NFL passer rating as what they did that year with their respective college teams. And do you know what the passer ratings were for those two young men respectively?
I'm sure you're going to say it.
I'm definitely about to tell you. The year Bryce Young won the Heisman Trophy, Bryce Young's numbers in the NFL, he would have had a passer rating of 139.8. CJ Stroud in 2021 would have had a passer rating of 131.48. Do you know where that ranks them with these top 10 quarterbacks in the year 2021?
Where rank them, Nick?
1 and 2. They would be the top two. They would be the top two passing rated quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Hilarious.
I'm sorry.
This is top flight hilarious.
It's not. I'm being serious. I am being
They're
dead
playing
serious.
against collegiate defenses.
What that supposed to mean? And these same collegiate defenses are not the ones that's going to be in the NFL soon?
Bro, half of those people are not going to make an NFL roster.
They going to make an NFL roster. They will make an NFL roster.
Come on, bro.
Yes, they will. A lot of those guys will make an NFL roster.
Bro.
Sir. A lot of those guys will make an NFL roster. You can laugh all you want to. I believe in this. I even went to 2022 and even wrote down the passer ratings for those.
All right, since you Mr. Mathematics,
Go ahead.
do Kyler Murray's for 2018 when he won the Heisman. He also threw for
I don't have Kyler Murray's for 2018 because I didn't write it down. Now I do have Kyler Murray's 2021 and 2022 NFL passer rating number. You know what that was? In 2021, his passer rating was 100.6. In 2022, you know what it was? 87.2. So, Come on now. And you put Kirk Cousins on, and you know how I feel about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is not a top 10 quarterback.
Why not?
Kirk Cousins is not a top 10 quarterback. Regular season, maybe. Playoffs, where it matters, no, I'm good. Kirk Cousins is 1-4 in the playoffs. He has a 1-4 record in the playoffs. If Kirk Cousins was that dude in the playoffs, Stephon Diggs would still be there in Minnesota right now.
And he still went 13-2. He still threw over 4,000 yards.
Okay.
31 touchdowns.
Okay. He's in the same boat as Josh Allen with me right now.
Wow.
Same boat. He's in the same boat with me as Josh Allen right now. Sorry. Look.
God.
Josh
Nick is on one tonight.
Look,
he said he was gonna be on that tonight. He's on one tonight.
Kirk Cousins he was drafted in 2012 to back up RG3. Kirk Cousins has not made it out of the wild card. He's not made it past the wild card round, people. And we are supposed to judge quarterbacks by greatness in the playoffs, right? He has not made it past the wild card.
And your people never played a down in the NFL, Nick.
Hey, all I'm saying is, if you put numbers to numbers, if you put their numbers of what they had in those respective years
NFL defense,
into an
we all
NFL
know
passer rating,
it's a different game speed, Nick. We know this. Me and you both know this. We played the game.
A different game speed. It's faster. Is that what you're about to tell me? It's faster in the NFL?
Bro.
More physical in the NFL?
Yes, obviously.
These dudes, Bryce Young played in the SEC, which is probably the most physical league. And most of your draft picks in the NFL are coming from the SEC. I'm sorry. Greg Sankey just sat here and said that
no argument
that most it was 87 people was drafted from the SEC that went to the NFL draft this year. The Big Ten is right behind the SEC. Come on, stop. You cannot sit here and tell me that these same guys that these same NFL defenses that we're talking about right now. You mean to sit here and tell me that Bryce Young and CJ Stroud could not have those same numbers in the NFL this year, right now?
First of all, it depends on what team you go to, what offensive system you go to. It's a lot more than just walking into a room with numbers, and it's the NFL, Nick. If it was that
Bryce
easy,
Bryce Young played in what is considered to be a semi-pro style offense. He had some spread in there. He played in the shotgun some, but starting out, he was in a pro style type offense. West Coast offense in a West Coast offense. He was in the same type of offense.
Why is Mac Jones not top 10? He was in the same office as Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is not good. I just said it. Do you think Mac Jones is good?
No, I didn't. I'm just asking you a question.
Do you think Mac Jones is good? Do you?
No,
let me ask you. Do you think Mac Jones' talent is on the talent of Bryce Young? Do you think he has the same talent as Bryce Young?
He won a national championship. Bryce Young didn't. Well, Bryce Young won a national championship because of Mac Jones, and he won a Heisman and still lost the national championship.
I give you that. I'll give you that right there. But talent-wise, who's more talented, Mac Jones or Bryce Young?
Of course, I'm gonna go Bryce Young all day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So you mean to sit here and tell me you don't think Bryce Young and CJ Stroud could step into the NFL right now and pass for 4,000 yards?
I'm saying it depends on what system they walk into. Like right now, here in Carolina, who is his number one receiver? DJ Chalk Jr.? Adam Thielen?
Why Adam Thielen got to be old? Why you think Adam Thielen? Wasn't he in Minnesota?
He was still old.
Wasn't he? And he was still producing, wasn't he?
Yeah, as a second option to Justin Jefferson.
Okay, and okay.
So I'm just saying, who's going to be the number one in Carolina? Tell me.
DJ Chalk.
All right. That's how we're going to live.
DJ Chalk will be the number one option. Adam Thielen going to be number two. Those are not bad options. What's wrong with that?
Okay. Well, let's live like that.
What's wrong with that?
No argument here. Let's just see the season.
I'm telling you right now, Bryce Young, right now at this stage, is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now. You can laugh all you want to.
Okay.
You can laugh all you want to. I'm telling you right now, Bryce Young is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Hey.
Let's go down the list. Let's look.
Hey, you ain't make one. I wanted you to make one for this reason.
No.
The world needed to hear your list.
The
world needed to hear your list.
I went through I gave you the 10 names. I even wrote down these other names. I even wrote down Russell Wilson. I wrote down Jared Goff. I wrote down Kyler Murray. I even wrote down your boy Kirk Cousins because I knew you was gonna say his name. I even wrote down Mac Jones. I wrote down Mac Jones. I wrote down Deshaun Watson, Tua Tagovailoa. I didn't write down Geno Smith because I don't think Geno Smith is a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Is he a
comeback player of the year?
Is Geno Smith the type of quarterback that can take you all the way?
Now,
that's the reason why
I don't think so.
That's the reason why I did not write Geno Smith's name down.
I don't think so.
I didn't write his name down because of that. Is he the type of quarterback that can take you all the way? I don't know. So
I don't think so.
I wrote down all these guys' passer ratings, and I compared them, and I threw the numbers into the system. And the only one that I could not get like a great reading on was Deshaun Watson, because his last full year of production was 2019, 2020. Those were his last years of like full production. But everybody else, their numbers, if their numbers in the NFL, those numbers in the NFL passer rating system, Bryce Young is up there. He's top 5.
I want to see him play it down.
That's fine. I mean, you can sit here and you can use the excuse, oh, he has not played a down of NFL football. He has not. That's fine. You can use that excuse. But I'm going by the numbers. I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm saying Bryce Young played in the SEC against defenses that were NFL caliber ready. I mean, there was an argument 7 years ago that Alabama could have beaten some NFL teams. Like it was going around saying that Alabama could literally go into the NFL at that time and beat NFL teams.
Do you feel that way?
At that time, they could have beaten the Jacksonville team at that time. That was like 2016, 2017 when that narrative was going around. They could have beaten the Jacksonville team at that time. They could have beaten the Miami team at that time. Yes, Alabama was stacked. You know what I'm saying? And you sit here and tell me, you really sit here and tell me that you don't think that the way the game is going now in a pro style system where a lot of it is pass, that what CJ Stroud did at Ohio State was pass a lot, and what Bryce Young did at Alabama was pass, even though it was a pro style. I'm putting in air quotes, pro style type system where he did pass the ball because he had a very good receiving court. You really sit here and tell me you think that those guys can't step into the NFL right now and at least make the playoffs?
I said I'm not saying that.
Well, what are you saying,
system,
Marcus? Marcus, say something.
The system that they walk into, you just can't imagine a quarterback walking into a broke down system and just being successful.
Joe Burrow did. Joe Burrow was number one overall pick. He was number one overall pick.
Year.
Joe Burrow got hurt, and if you sit there and look at that, Joe Burrow, they were going to make the playoffs that year. His rookie season, Cincinnati would have made the playoffs.
What was their record when he got hurt, Nick?
Let's look it up real quick.
Did your research.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up and see. Let's look it up. It'll take me a little time to look it up, but let's look it up and see. Because he got hurt. He got hurt like in the early part of the season. Man, look, man, you got me on the spot trying to figure out this. Cincinnati.
Hey, man.
Cincinnati Bengals, 2020 record. Excuse me, I'm sorry. They went 4-11 because he got hurt at the beginning of the season. He got hurt like game 3 is when he hurt his ACL or something like that. Joe Burrow was that dude. I'm sorry, man. He would have made the play. I'm telling you, man, I believe in Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is
I feel you. My brother do too.
I believe in
my
Joe
brother
Burrow,
a big
man.
Joe Burrow fan.
I believe in Joe Burrow, man.
And you know, right, Ohio State got to claim him now. So because
do they? Do they?
They've been claiming Joe Burrow.
I was just saying, do they? I'm just saying though. But I will sit here and I will debate that. Right now, Bryce Young is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Right now. You can laugh all you want to.
I can't wait till this NFL season, bro.
You know what? What team in the NFC besides the Eagles? What other quarterback in the NFC besides the Eagles is a threat? So you see, especially in the NFC South right now, NFC South comprised of the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Buccaneers. You mean to tell me Bryce Young can't step in and be the star? You don't draft a quarterback number 1 overall not to play him. And you mean to sit here and tell me he can't? And you mean
he just signed a deal today?
Matter
of fact, congratulations for him signing his 4-year, $37.9 million deal.
Yeah, he did. But I'm just telling you, you can't sit here and tell me that because he did that he can't win the NFC South right now. Who's the other quarterback? You have
Hey, I don't disagree with that because
Marcus Mariota
sucks.
Marcus Mariota and
only
Atlanta.
person in his division is Baker Mayfield, and we all know what Baker Mayfield is.
And you got what's your guy name that's in with the Saints right now? Derek Carr. You mean to sit here and tell me you don't think Bryce Young can step into that league right now and win the NFC South?
It's gonna be between him and Derek Carr. If he is good as advertised.
Yes, he's as good as advertised. The one that may have more trouble because he's in the AFC is CJ Stroud because he's with Houston. But Bryce Young right now, Bryce Young, he can step in and he can make the playoffs right now in the NFC South as a wild card, or he can win the division. And I think he could win the division.
I want to see the talent.
Listen,
they got around him, and I want to see how they play.
All I'm saying is, you got Derek Brown in the middle, manning that defense.
Oh, we know they got a defense.
You know what I'm saying? And you got Chalk and Thielen on the outside, and you got Bryce Young throwing that thing with an offensive line in front of him that's protecting him. The offensive line is not. They don't suck. It is a decent, above average offensive line in Carolina. Look,
you sure?
Listen.
That's why Christian McCaffrey had to get up out of there?
Nah, Christian McCaffrey had to get up out of there because they didn't have nothing else. When they got rid of Cam and Christian McCaffrey was a dynamic duo. That was a whole dynamic duo. But when Cam got hurt and they decided they didn't want to bring Cam back, it all fell on Christian McCaffrey at that time to run the ball.
Well, definitely.
And now and being a running back is like being in many accidents every single play. So of course his body's gonna break down. And plus he was getting hurt before that.
Hit me by saying, pay them folk, man. Pay Derrick Henry, pay them boy. They're supposed to be paid.
Pay Saquon Barkley. That's what you need. Pay Saquon Barkley. That's what they need to pay. And Josh Jacobs. They need to pay both of them dudes. But, it is what it is. And I will stand on that 10 toes. Email us at wctpod@gmail.com and tell me what you think. Because I think Bryce Young is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now.
Please tell him somebody.
Marcus ain't said nothing because he know I'm right.
Please, somebody. Anybody, email him, subscribe, DM up on the video after you get it.
You heard what the man said. Let me know, and I'm telling you that right now. I stand on that, and you know what? Because of that, man, I see y'all in the post game, man. We'll see y'all in the post game.
It's time to shut down in the post game.
I told y'all y'all want to stay to the end of that episode because
hey man, my boy Nick told y'all.
I told you. I will stand on that.
It's a classic, Nick.
Bryce Young is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now. You can laugh all you want.
I can't help it.
You can laugh all you want to. Look at the numbers. Go look at what your boy did last year when he willed Alabama to some wins and what he did in his Heisman Trophy year. Bryce Young is a top 10 quarterback right now.
Lost in the Stephen Bennett in Georgia. But yeah.
Bryce Young is top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now, people. Anyway, guys, thank y'all so much, man. That was a good game. Marcus, what you think, man? How you think the outcome was?
Man, I'm proud, man, of how we came to play today. I think this was our best one yet. I seen so many things that I've been begging to see from my people. And man, I'm good going into the next week of practice.
Yeah, man, I feel good, man. Yeah, now we get to sit down, we get to relax, we get to go over the playbook, watch the film, see what we can do better, and get ready for next week. Go over offense, defense with Bryce Young at the helm, and go over special teams as well. Because that's the only way we get better, man. We got to watch film, and then we got to get polish up what we do. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes progression.
Yes,
it makes improvement. Like practice makes improvement. So that's what we need to do. We need to improve. So that's what I feel. Hey guys, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is time to give out the award that everybody loves and the people that get it don't want. It's time for the Water Boy Award.
Give it up for the Water Boy Award.
Gatorade. H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Man, and do we not have a good one for you today? Ladies and gentlemen, my partner, my co-host, I give you Marcus Fitzpatrick.
What's up, my peoples? Today I gotta get that Water Boy Award to the father of NBA star Jordan Poole. First, I just want to clarify: Draymond was in the wrong, but Jordan Poole, daddy, tweeting at him all the derogatory words. Like, did you not see what he did to your son? He was gonna make easy work of you. Talking about we can meet up, we can do all that. He, please, just stop. Before you go meet with anybody, come sit by me. Let's talk about it. If you're gonna go meet that man, meet over some Starbucks, have a conversation, talk about what y'all and you and your son and him can do to salvage our relationship. Please don't go in there with some ill intentions trying to fight Draymond Green at your age. Because he dropped your son, and I don't want to see TMZ when he drop you. Please, please, come sit by me first before you do that. And that's how I'm gonna end that segment.
Hey, he said, come see me because he dropped your son. I don't want him to drop you.
For real, bro. You call that man the B word, man. Like he told you, man. Men don't take that word kindly, man.
Oh my God,
No.
man.
You gonna hit your son with that woo chick.
Then he dropped your son. He don't want to drop you. Oh my God, man. He didn't drop the whole line, the whole lineage.
Bro,
Oh my
do you not
God.
know how bad that would be if he beat you up and your daddy?
Boy, that's funny, bro. That is hilarious, man. Well, Jordan Poole's father. Jordan Poole's father, guess what?
Come on, come sit by me.
Come on, sit around the water cooler with me and Marcus and enjoy this cold cup of water. Yes, enjoy that cold cup of water there, Jordan Poole's father, man. Wow, man. That was funny, man. He said he dropped your son. You don't want to drop you.
For real, bro. Come
Oh my
on
God.
here, bro.
Bro, let me stop, man. Hey, again, man. Man.
For real, bro. I'm that serious.
Bro, hey, y'all. We thank y'all so much.
Most definitely.
We
Let's
thank
get
you
back
so
to personal. I do thank y'all for tuning in. If he is listening, please don't do that.
Oh my God.
Like he said, you could have seen him in the family room plenty of times. It's a reason why you didn't want to see that man.
Oh man, you know what, man? We gonna end it like this, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with us every Wednesday. Listening to the water cooler talk. Man, we appreciate y'all, man. You really don't know how much we appreciate this, man, because we really are trying to get off the ground, and we really do appreciate y'all download, listening to the podcast and everything, man. Only way we can go is up. So again, man, thank y'all so much for listening. Wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, man, download, follow the podcast. Also, rate and review the podcast, man. That helps us move up in the podcast rankings as well. So please rate and review the podcast as well, man. Also, go follow our social medias. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Water Cooler Talk. Follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Coolest Pod 23. Or you can just type in Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Man, we thank y'all, man. Also, if you want to hit us up, email us at wctpod@gmail.com. Again, that is wctpod@gmail.com. Again, man, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for taking some time out of your day, listening to us and downloading the podcast, and coming and sitting around the water cooler with us and just listening to our takes on sports and the sports landscape. Marcus, anything you want to say before we get up out of here, boss man?
Man, I appreciate every last one of you. Y'all have a blessed week. Tune in every Wednesday, and we're gonna turn up with you.
Yeah, man. Piggyback off, he said, man, tune in every Wednesday, man. Thank y'all again, man. Y'all be good. Nah, better yet, y'all be great. Be blessed. One love.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Water Cooler Talk. Make sure to follow us on our socials on Instagram and TikTok at Water Cooler Talk and on YouTube at The Coolest Pod 23. Also, make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast player so that you never miss an episode.